Hi yogis, and Happy New Year. This full body vinyasa is a turning point, a release of old skins, old masks, old stories. Last year was the year of the snake, shed and done. This year we choose light, freedom, and peace. My name is Sonia, and I'll be guiding you throughout today's class. Begin by lying down on your back. Place one hand over the belly and one hand over the heart. Start to connect with your breath. Slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. No forcing, no expectations of feeling anything in particular. Just breathing and letting go. Some gentle reminders. Use props as necessary. Avoid pain, numbness, or tingling. Do not ignore your body's cues, both on and off the mat. This is how we stay in the light, by listening. Now plant the feet on the mat and begin to sway the knees side to side, gently rocking. Extend the right leg long and draw the left knee into the chest for Apanasana, knee to chest pose. And start circling the knee. And reverse direction. Guide the left knee over to the right side for a supine twist, right hand assisting, left arm reaching out wide. Breathe here. Let's do the same thing on the other side, bringing the right knee in towards the chest and beginning to circle at the hip. And switch the direction. Inhale deeply, and on your exhale, guide the knee over for a twist. Bring both knees into the chest now, circling them together in both directions. Rock along the spine 3 times, and on the 4th roll, try to plant the feet, rising into chair pose, Utkatasana, and immediately fold forward. Keep the knees bent, grab opposite elbows, let the head hang heavy. Get ready for our first Vinyasa wave. Plant the hands, step back into plank pose. Drop the knees and lower into a supported chaturanga, elbows bent 90 degrees, hugging in by the ribs. Inhale into baby cobra, bhujangasana. Then roll back over the knees into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Hold for several breaths. Spread the fingers, almost as if you're gripping the mat. Lift the hips up. Let the heels melt towards the mat. Now, bend the knees and hover just above the ground for tabletop, engaging the core. Keep a strong back here. Breathe. Feel that inner fire awakening. And press back into down dog. Let's fire up the core even more. Bring the left knee to the left tricep. Inhale, lift into 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right tricep. Inhale, lift. Left knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Step the foot between the hands. Drop the back knee, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Plant the hands, flow through plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, back to downward facing dog. Other side, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left tricep. Inhale, lift. Right knee to nose. 3-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands, low lunge. Then chaturanga, your choice of back bend. Returning to downward facing dog. Hover the knees just above the mat once more in tabletop. Keep squeezing the core, you're doing amazing. And then drop the knees, find a child's pose, balasana. Slowly return to tabletop, then straightening the legs, lifting the hips up to the sky for down dog. Step forward to a standing forward fold. Slowly roll all the way up to standing. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Sink the hips even further back. Lift the chest and arms higher without straining. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Plant the hands, find plank, and flow through your vinyasa, meeting in down dog. Lift the left heel and bring the knee to nose. We'll do this 2 more times with 3-legged dog in between. On the third knee to nose, slide the left foot under the hips to the right and plant it on the floor for fallen triangle. Naturally, you'll roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Lift the right arm to open the chest to the sky. All right, listen carefully. Gonna lower that lifted hand to the mat, bend the left knee, and slide it back under and around until you're facing the opposite side of the room for side plank, Vashisthasana. Lift the left hand up to the sky and hold. And rotate down, step the left foot between the hands, low lunge, adding a gentle back bend, arching from the upper spine. Feel free to cactus the arms or reach them overhead. Find your way back to down dog. Step, hop, or walk to forward fold. Big inhale as you rise to standing, lifting arms overhead, hands to heart center. Raise the arms once more, chair pose, sink the hips back, more weight into the heels. Inhale deeply. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Flow through your vinyasa or meet in down dog. Lift the right heel, knee to nose, ×2. And on the third, knee to nose, slide the right foot under the hips to the left side of the room. Plant it on the floor, fallen triangle. Lift the left arm to the sky or over the ear. Plant the hand, slide the foot back under, rotating to the opposite side of the room, Vashisthasana, side plank. Right arm reaches over the ear. Squeeze the core. Use your inner fire. And rotate down. Step the right foot between the hands, low lunge, gentle back bend. Plant the hands, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Awareness back on the breath. Step forward to fold. Inhale as you rise to standing. Arms lift overhead, and then they find prayer at heart center. Inhale to lift the arms once more. Sink the hips back for chair pose. Strong in the legs, gaze is focused forward. Keep breathing. And fold. Halfway lift. Hands come to mat, plank pose. Lower fully onto the belly. Next is Shalabhasana, locust pose. Your hands can be by your side or clasped behind the back. You're going to inhale to lift the chest and the legs off of the mat, squeezing the muscles in your back and your glutes. Try to keep the toes touching for proper alignment. Deep breaths here, bringing vital oxygen into all the muscles of your body. Lower down and rest. Let's do that one more time. If you clasped your hands behind your back, put the opposite pinky on top this time. Inhale to lift. Squeeze all your muscles. Effort without too much effort. Finding that middle way. Lift even higher. And lower down. Press back to down dog. And then lift the left heel. Bend the knee and stack the hips open for a super juicy stretch in the front body. When you're ready, square the hips back down to the mat and swing the leg forward into crescent lunge. Keep a slight bend in the back knee so that you can tilt the pelvis forward. That way you're creating space in the low back and there shouldn't be any pinching there. Then open up into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Side angle, left arm can rest on the front knee. Straighten the front leg into triangle, Trikonasana. Now add a micro bend in both knees and heel toe the back foot in slightly. Turn the right hip down to square the hips to the top of the mat. Fold into pyramid pose, Parshvattanasana. Use blocks if needed. Now bend the front knee and roll onto the ball of the back foot. And bring your hands into prayer, keeping a straight spine. Twist towards the left, hooking the elbow on the outside of the knee, prayer twist. Find your breath. Now step the back foot forward to meet the left for a chair twist. Untwist, face forward, straighten the legs to stand. We'll inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Keep holding, bring your hands into prayer and twist over to the right for a chair twist. Step the left foot back for a prayer twist in a high lunge. Long spine. Imagine you are rotating your rib cage around the spine. Be aware of your limits, never push. Untwist, face forward. Drop the back heel at an angle and straighten the front leg for pyramid pose. Then open the hips to the side for triangle, lifting the left arm to the sky. Bend the front knee, side angle. Arm reaches over the ear. Inhale, warrior two. Roll onto the ball of the back foot, high lunge. Hands meet the mat, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Now rest the thighs on the mat and lower all the way down. King Cobra pose. So our hands are slightly in front of the chest. We're lightly gripping the mat only because we want the strength to be in the back, not the arms. So lift the chest, bend the knees. The crown of the head reaches towards the toes, but we're not crunching in the neck. You can squeeze your glutes lightly for support and keep breathing. Lower all the way down. Lift the hips up and back for down dog. And to complete that sequence, lift the right heel to the sky, bending at the knee, stacking and opening the hips. Deep stretch. Plant the foot, bend the knees, hover them in tabletop. Returning to down dog. Lift the left heel, stack the hips, and flip your dog. Wild thing. If you need rest at any point, feel free to take a child's pose or a water break. Return to three-legged dog. Then bring the knee forward and drop it under the right hand. Pivot on the knee so that the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Back leg is extended. Gate pose. Left hand stays grounded to the side of the front knee. Right arm reaches over the ear. Swing the arms to the other side to stretch. You can rest your right hand on the thigh. Find a neutral spine and bring both hands to the low back, gentle back bend. Then rest both hands in front of you, adjust the feet, and shift the hips back towards the heel for an inner thigh stretch. Make sure that you're mindful of your knees here. Now listen carefully here. Lift the hips up slightly and heel toe that extended foot at a diagonal until it's in line with the back knee, with toes pointed to the back of the mat. This might feel awkward and that's okay, just avoid pain. You can press your right hand on the inside of the knee to keep it open, or even find a bind as you sink the hips lower for an adductor inner thigh stretch. Release the bind and pivot over the left knee to find a high lunge facing the back of the mat. Then step back into down dog. Lift the right heel, bend the knee, stack the hips. Option to flip your dog, wild thing. Equal force is distributed through the hand and the feet. The shoulder is rooted in its socket. Flip back into three-legged dog. Bring the knee in and drop it just under the left hand. Turn the shin so it's parallel to the top of the mat. Left leg extended, gate pose. I recommend placing a block under the right hand. Swing the arms over to the other side. Then hands support the low back as you arch it upwards. Neutral spine, inhale fully. And then sink the hips back, exhale. And we'll slowly lift the hips, finding our adductor stretch. So that left foot is coming in at an angle, heel in line with back knee, front knee above ankle as you sink the hips down, placing the left hand on the inside of the knee and opening it up. Right arm to the sky or find a bind. Remember, the toes are pointed to the top of the mat. Breathe to soften the hips down even more. Let go of the bind as we transition into high lunge and rest in down dog. From down dog, lower onto the forearms for dolphin pose. Your forearms are shoulder width apart. Keep breathing to press the chest further towards the thighs. Then walk the feet back until you reach dolphin plank. Open to the left for a low side plank. Lifting the left arm, and if it feels right, lift the top leg slightly off the bottom. Keep the hips high. Lower down and flow onto the other side. Lifting the right arm and top leg if available. Return to a neutral plank and press back up onto the hands. Glide the left leg forward into pigeon pose, The shin should be a 45 to 90-degree angle from the thigh. Choose what's safe for your knees, and feel free to use a blanket or a cushion under the hip for extra support. Now stay lifted and see if you can bring your hands to prayer, contracting the left hip, lifting it slightly off the mat for several small lifts. Now lowering all the way down for sleeping pigeon. Allow the hips to soften. Okay, slowly lift back up. Keeping the feet exactly where they are, you're going to try to straighten that front leg for a twisted triangle. Walking the hands over to the left slightly and placing some blocks under them. This is going to target the IT band all along the side of the leg. Lower back down into pigeon. You might benefit from a yoga strap here as we move into mermaid pose. You're going to contract the back hamstring, bending the knee and hooking the foot in towards the elbow. And use your breath to relax as much as you can here. Release slowly and with control. Planting the hands, lift the shin, pivot the knee over to the right side of the mat as we find gate pose once again. Right arm over the ear, and then sway and bring the left arm over the ear. Neutral spine, you can do a gentle back bend as before, or half camel. Left hand reaches for the heel, right arm lifts overhead. And then we'll place both hands on the low back, find neutral spine, and sink the hips back for our inner thigh stretch. And return to gate pose. Bend the extended leg, heel in line with back knee. Softening deeper into the hips. Either plant the hand or find your bind. Pivot over the back knee into high lunge. Drop the back heel at an angle. Straighten the front leg, pyramid pose. Reverse triangle. Left hand to floor or a block, right arm to the sky. Return to pyramid pose. We'll bend the front knee for a runner's lunge with hands on the mat and lower the right leg into pigeon pose. Several hip lifts, either with hands planted or at heart center. Breathe into your chest and your belly, expand. And as you exhale, lower down into sleeping pigeon. And we'll find our way into that IT band stretch by straightening the front leg. Lower down, mermaid pose. And we'll start to release that and then transition into gate pose. Left arm is going to be reaching over the ear. And sway to the other side. Gentle back bend or half camel with the right hand on the heel, arching the upper spine. Gaze is towards the sky. Moving back to gate and sinking the hips towards the heel. Bring the left foot in line with the right knee, toes pointed to the top of the mat, sink the hips. Breathe into low lunge. Breathe out to pyramid. Keep the hips level, reverse triangle. Drop the left arm and we'll make our way back into a runner's lunge. Then plank, then lowering the knees. We'll find a kneeling position as we prepare for camel pose. So lift the chest and place your hands at the low back. You want to keep your hips pressing forward as you arch the upper spine back any safe amount. Maybe you grab onto blocks behind the feet or onto the heels. Feel the chest rise with strength. To safely exit, hands on low back first, squeezing the core to rise. Then sit back on the heels for a little rest. Okay, swing the legs out in front of you. We'll move into bridge, Setu Bandhasana. So lying on the back, heels are near your sits bones. You'll try to touch them with your fingertips. Keep the thighs parallel and lift the hips up. Feel free to roll the shoulders under and clasp your hands. Relax the hips down, straighten the legs. Preparing for fish pose. Gonna open our throat chakra, which is all about truth and becoming our authentic selves. So your hands are by your side. Gonna press into the forearms to lift the chest up and bring the crown of the head onto the mat. If this seems a little bit too difficult for you today, feel free to pass and just rest on your back, or do bridge pose one more time. And slowly release. Bring knees into chest or whatever feels right for you at the moment. Our final peak pose is going to be wheel. We're going to prepare with some wrist stretches. So just pulling down on the fingertips gently to stretch the inner wrist of the right hand. Moving on to the other side. Then pretending that you're squeezing a balloon to get into the hands themselves. Shaking the wrists out, maybe doing some wrist circles in both directions. All right, wheel pose. So our heels are at the sits bones, thighs parallel. Lift the hips up as if you're in bridge. Then bring your hands by your ears, fingertips pointed towards the heels. Lift up onto the top of your head and then draw the elbows in. Then, as if a string was pulling your belly button up, let the chest rise to the sky and the arms straighten. If you're able to, push the chest forward to get deeper into the shoulders. Maybe even coming up onto the toes for extra space in the low back. Exit the same way you came in, bending at the elbows, first coming onto the top of the head. And then vertebra by vertebra, we're lowering onto the back, hugging knees into chest. Round 2, wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Gently lower down, bringing knees into chest. At your own pace, roll over the spine, finding a seated position, extending the legs straight for a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana, stretching the whole back chain of the body. Let this be passive, but try to keep a straight spine as much as possible. And rise out of that counter pose, moving into a seated cross-legged position. Circling the neck forward from shoulder to shoulder. Make this movement effortless. Once you make your way over to one side, let the ear gently fall towards the shoulder. And you can place a hand on top of the head for a little extra gravity, stretching the side of the neck. And switch sides. And we'll bring our head back to center. This time, place both hands under your left collarbone and pull the skin down. Then you're gonna lift your chin up and towards the right at an angle. This is gonna stretch the front side of the neck. Other side, pulling the skin down under the right collarbone, lifting the chin up and to the left. Now we're going to cool down the body, finding our way onto the back once more. Crossing the right knee over the left, arms extended wide or in cactus, and letting the knees fall over to the left-hand side, supine twist. Both shoulders should be planted before the knees, so you might want to place a block or blanket under the knees if that's the case. Next is Vinyasa. So we're going to untangle our knees, lift the hips over to the right, and bring the feet over to the left corner of the mat, as well as the arms towards the top left-hand side of the mat. You're basically in a banana shape, stretching the side body. Moving into our supine twist with eagle legs on the other side. So make sure your body is in a straight position. We'll bring the left knee over the right, arms wide, let the knees fall to the right side. Release. Next is Vinyasa. Hips over to the left, feet and arms over to the right. Okay, we're going to prepare for the final resting pose, Shavasana. I just want to say I'm so proud of you for doing this class. It was quite challenging and complicated at times, but as long as you made it to the end, that's all right, because life itself is complicated and you just gotta flow. Just gotta ride the wave. And you're gonna be stronger and, rise like the phoenix at the end of it. So you should be proud of yourself. Let all of this integrate and just completely let go in your Shavasana. Let the body be heavy. Notice how you feel. Everybody deserves a good rest. Gently start to wake the body with micro movements. Feel free to turn onto your side in a fetal position or roll over the spine at your own pace, or just lie here even longer. I want to thank you for taking this class with me. My name is Sonia once again. I'd love for you to subscribe, like, comment, join this community, and continue to grow with me on this journey of yoga. Namaste, my friends, and I wish you only success, blessings, and happy times in 2026.